Yes, start.
So yeah, thank you very much, for your patience. So we are almost toward the end of our week-long workshop in research methods in environmental economics using R. And I find this, workshop very, very interesting. I think it exceeded my expectation. So let's give a big, big hands to Bikram. Yeah, thank you, Bikram, for your report to teach people who never had any R before, versus some people have some other backgrounds. But I think everybody now had some feel of it. The idea is to provide exposure, and then how much you can learn depends on your intensity of propensity to learn, the fire you have inside. So our goal was to plant some of it inside you so that you can actually use it, because R is freeware. You don't have to put money for buying the software, and there are a lot of help around, as you have seen during the course of these 5 days. So if you have interest, you can actually Google and find, I think, a lot of interesting help once you know how it works, right? The idea was to give exposure how it works, and the rest it all depends on the individuals, how much you can take forward. So Bikram, you did very good job. So very happy, and also Hina, you provided a lot of support to help understand how the codes work and all kind of things. So before moving forward, so let's hear from our representative participants we nominated yesterday. So I would like to invite Lubna for sharing your experience, but in maybe few minutes, okay?
So, Maniji, should I share the presentation? Actually, we have prepared a presentation, 3 of us.
Oh, wow.
Me, Manap, and
Right,
Deechan.
yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, Manap, would you please share? Because we have had 3 meetings since yesterday.
All right, good. We didn't know that. So that's the secret thing.
Yes, Manap.
Okay.
Manap, it's over to you. Please share.
Okay. Is it coming?
Yep, system.
Where is it? Where is it? Just a second. Slide. So start from first slide. Yeah. Sorry. Just a second. Yeah. So we would like to thank SANDEE for organizing such a nice program, especially our instructor Bikramji. And now we'll go over the everyday what we did in a very brief manner. So yeah. So Lubnaji will start. Lubnaji will start.
Let me start with the day 1. On day 1, May 17, 2021, we were introduced with the R by our Professor Vikram Ji. He has really done a very good job. I'm really inspired by his enthusiasm and his dedication to this workshop, because he has not only taught us R, but also provided us sources. So he provided us websites, which I have put down here. This presentation I have prepared in collaboration with, in coordination with Manav and Deechan. So these are the sources which Vikram Ji gave us to install the R and R Studio. He also provided us the video guide, which was really, really useful in knowing to install R and R Studio. And he has also provided us with the chapter from his book, that is chapter 2, Quantitative Economics with R. And it was published with Springer. Here is the link of his book. But when I went to that link, I found that only the preview of the chapter 3 was available free, while you have to purchase if you want to go through all the chapters. So he has given us that chapter also to learn that how we can bring data into the R. This is basically the interface from my laptop. I have taken this screenshot. This is the interface of the R, which Vikram Ji told us that it has 4 panes. It has the a script window where you just write down the commands and the output appears in the console window. And you can do even that in the console window. And we have the environmental window where actually the objects created in the script appear in that environmental window. And we have this bottom right window where you can find out the packages and the files. Yes, please, Manav. Next slide.
So the topics were basically on the day first, we did studied different kind of objects in R, basically vector, matrix, data frame, list, and Bikramji showed us really nice examples. Also, we also discussed on paper and there was a nice back and forth with on the discounting that we did at the Bikram Sir's session in the second session. And we discussed a lot about why tidyverse approach is a great way to start with R, and we also discussed on how data analysis workflow works. So Lubnaji will discuss more about this.
Deechen, would you like to contribute here as we planned?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes,
Lubna,
please,
and
Deechen.
I would like to join with the Manab and Lubna in thanking Sandy for organizing such kind of wonderful workshop, which is really.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Sorry, am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to join with the Lubna and the Manab in thanking the Sandy for conducting such kind of workshop. It was really platform that we can learn, and then it gives me a lot of learning experience, and so interacting with all about the people all over South Asian. So I would like to make a point on the objects in R that Professor Vikram has made it very clear that I know that I'm also teaching the basic R to the undergraduate students, but he presented to us, actually it gives me a lot of the technique how to go about teaching the R's when I actually observe his teachings to us, and that's really nice, and thank you Vikram for doing that. And we know that there are different types of objects in R, and that it starts from the basic vector, and then of course if you just take it to the one number, then it becomes a scalar. So then if you go a little bit higher, then there is a matrix, and then if you have the different types of the vector, because there are different types of the vector, there is numeric vectors, character vectors, and integer vectors. Then if you wanted to club all this together, then we need the data frame. So for that, we have the object called data frame in R. But why do we have the list in this R is that Vikram has clearly made it out that it's just a basket of collections, because data frame could not accommodate if you have the vectors, different types of the vectors, different length or different number of observations. For that, we need the list to store the objects in R. Thank you. Over to Lubna.
Thank you, Deechen. I have put all the sources here, which Dr. Vikram has shared with us to learn more about the R. And he has also taught us about the data analysis workflow, and that lecture was really interesting. If you just go through his lecture of 1 hour and 36 minutes, you would learn that how you can do more in the R. Like what are the basic functions which you can do in the R. The first one is how you can bring the data into R. He has taught us from the book Wickham 2017 and through the tidyverse package, that it helps us not only to bring the data into R, and another package which he taught us about the Heaven, which you can use to read the data, which may be initially in Stata, but when you import it in R, how you can read that data. And there was another function which he taught us from the tidyverse, that was the glimpse function, that how you can view the data. And he also taught us that how you can tidy and transform the data, which is an important function, important operation which you have to perform with the data. It is like working and wrangling with the data. In that, he has taught us about the pipe operator and how you can take a data frame or then from the data frame how you can select variables. Like that, he gave an example of the treatment and control groups many times, and he told us that how you can mutate a variable, like when you can create a variable, and when it is to create the dummy variable, how you can do it in the R. And the most important thing when which he taught us about the R, that is the data visualization. And in data visualization, he has taught us that how we can use GG plots, which is the grammar of the graphics. So he has taught us that in detail, and there are so many other things which he has taught us which we could not bring in here. But I'm into learning, and I hope all of other participants also. And I'm really grateful to him for his, I would say that it's a big service which he has done. Yes, please, to next slide.
So
Manav,
the
yes,
next,
this one.
yeah, the next session was really interesting session by Inamulji and Professor Inamulji, and we had a really back and forth in how to compute macro rate of return, and how the household rate of return is different from the societal rate of return, and how different countries have different kind of their time frame of the planning, and that amounts to having different rate of return in planning practices. So he discussed how Bangladesh uses, I think it was 11%, and 10% in India. So we had quite a spirited discussion, and we used that to derive what would be the optimal amount of timber to cut in the forest, and that was partially motivated by this plot that we can see here. So, and in the next session we did basic data analysis. Using example of pooling and we used Haven to import the data set, and also we used matching. Used the matching for different characteristics. We learned about that, and further maybe participant will discuss more about it in this slide. Yeah. Lubnaji?
Yes, please. Oh, yes, it is from the day 2, that is the 18th May. And in that, the Maniji presented this lecture on the truth telling by third-party audits and the response of polluting farms. So it was about the asymmetrical information between the registered and the between the registered industrial units and the environmental regulators in India. It was an experimental study. Maniji presented different types of, taught us about the different types of impact evaluations, then different approaches. He talked about like the RCT, the natural experiment, the quasi experimental and instrumental variable and all that. And he also taught us, basically I would talk about the results which he has discussed with us from this study, which was an experimental based study, and it was really interesting. And Vikramji has also taught us about the replication of this study in R, and we have done this. And the important takeaways from these studies were that industrial units which were actually before the intervention, or those who were in the control group, basically those who were in the control group, they underreported the pollution by 13% compared to the follow-up check, while those who in the treatment group, they were less likely to report, they were less likely to underreport the pollution. And there were follow-up checks also on these farms. It is a detailed study. I have noted down some points which I don't have, I think, time to explain each and every one. But what was the takeaway? That when you put check on the farms, and when the farms are given the chance to hire someone from the neutral pool of auditors, what happens that neutral fund provides this neutral pool of auditors, make it transparent, make the reporting of the pollution by the farms transparent, and the accuracy of reporting of pollution becomes more, I would say, becomes more, I would say, what I don't know what term I should use here, that the accuracy of the reporting increases. accuracy of the reporting is likely to increase in this case. Yes, next please. Day 3, May 19, 2021. Yes, wrangling with data. This is what we have done. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mistakenly talked about the matching in the earlier slide. So matching was done here, especially here, and so it was also we discussed about the causal inference, the mixtape by Scott, on how different kind of it is a nice book that's available on how the inference to study inference methods in economics as such. And another thing that was interesting in this day was the using of the ESCOM data. So what we learned from using ESCOM data was just because we have a similar mean and standard deviation doesn't imply the data are actually same. So there is a great amount of virtue in actually plotting them and seeing them by plotting and see how where are the data sets, where are the data points, and to visualize them is a very important part of data wrangling, or or in any economic analysis. We should not just focus on just taking care of means, because this ESCOM data set is a really very cautionary data set, and it was a very enlightening session in this period. So next we'll go to the next session. So next was on so our
yes, that was the
colleague from
Pandab Mukherjee.
yeah.
Yes, that was the article which was presented by the Pandab Mukherjee, and that was about the health awareness and the transition towards clean cooking fuels, evidence from Rajasthan. Actually, in this article, Pandab Mukherjee presented that what was the objective of this study. In this study, actually, the health information, the intervention was made, and that intervention was the health information. And the idea was that before that, the people, although they were using the LPG, but they did not know about the health benefits of using the LPG. So there was some program which was evaluated in this study. It was the Pradhan Mantri, I think, Ujjwala Yojana program. It was that name, because I have gone through this study thoroughly. So Pandab Mukherjee actually presented the policy connect of this study, that why this study was actually undertaken and what are the important findings of this study. So this study found that those who were given the information, because again this study was about making the control group and the treatment group. So those who were provided the health information about the LPG, the consumption of LPG increased, but not the magnitude. It was just increased by the 30% in the households. So that was the takeaway from this study. There is so much which you can learn about it. And Vikram sir has also taught us the replication of this study in R, which is very simple and very interesting. So I would suggest participants that they should do it, because this is something which you will learn not only from the paper, but you will see that how you can do it manually in R. And codes are very simple. This is what I have actually myself practiced. Yes, please, next.
Yeah, if my memory serves well, we had a really interesting discussion on how people actually placed their bid, if I remember it well. So we had a quite of a discussion on the how the bidding mechanism was done to get their willingness to pay. So and yeah. So next was we did some function and loops in R, and basically we also generated the phase diagram in R. It was the first, let's say, one of the most difficult session until this point. So we derived how we learned how to draw phase diagram, and we used it to learn how we plotted logistic function in a phase diagram also. So we also learned how to use function and loop in R in this session. And I did a little bit of experiment using a function. So, and this is based on our Professor Dayal's 2015 book, which I copied the code from. And so one of the very interesting thing is that on the first day we had discussed about the how does the Cobb-Douglas function changes with parameter A or alpha parameter. So it's a production function. So what I did was plotted different CD functions using different alpha value. And interesting part is that in the function is written only once, but we have plotted it different way, different places using different value of a naught. If we can see here, my mouse mouse cursor. So rest of the parameters are same, just we are differing the alpha and we are getting these nice and neat plots. And this is based on his 2015 book, so it's a really nice introductory text for R. And also in his book, he has done given us a source about the CD function for American economy, and I have plotted this CD function, which is basically with alpha is equal to 0.67, so and a something in 9.57. So it was really so this displays the power of function in R. And also our professor's really nice books. And then the next thing was we had a discussion on forests in Uttarakhand by Dr. Emmanuel Hawk, and our colleague from Bhutan will discuss this slide.
And
Thank
one
you.
thing which Manav, you forget, sorry, one thing which you forgot to mention, that it was a treat to listen to Dr. Inamul Haq when he discussed the discount rate. And he gave a very good distinction between the financial and the economic meaning of the discount rate.
Exactly.
So it was really a treat to listen to him.
Yeah, it was one of the
I'm really obliged.
one of the much philosophical debate in the whole 6 or 7 day period. Yeah, I think that was the most
And
interesting debate.
especially the Vikram sir discussion on the statistical simulation and the simulation through loops and functions. So he made it so simple to learn that how we can use loops and functions to understand the statistical simulation concept and go for the SIR model and other simulations type. It was really great.
Yeah, one thing I
Yes,
liked
teacher.
about our professors, instructors was that mainly people only focus on the functions. Rather, he was very interested in how the people who wrote the functions think about the economic problem. So we learned a bit about
Exactly.
why we hardly thinks in this way and why inference is done, why this package is written in this way. So what I found it remarkable that he was interested in people who were behind these amazing packages, also behind the economic insight. So I like that aspect of his teaching. Personally, I found
And
him
that
very
everyone
passionate
did,
about
that
this topic.
everyone did. Like Maniji, go beyond the paper. He told us about the different types of impact evaluations, then approaches and all that. The same the Pranab Mukherjee did. So every instructor went beyond the paper and he tried to explain the concept through the basics. So that was really good. Very good.
Yeah,
Yes, teacher. Teacher would discuss this slide. Yes, teacher.
Thank you, Lugna. Actually, I think that I may not be able to do the justice on recollecting everything what Professor Inamul has presented yesterday. This is I like this paper as well because this the way they have designed the sampling and all this thing. Because myself being a statistics background, I really like this paper. But only thing is that I have little knowledge on the dealing with the spatial data. So when it comes to the this, I feel myself a little bit backward in visualizing the kind of the data that we are actually have to deal with. So that's the my observations on this. But the another observations that what I have observed in the professor's presentations is that not necessarily that we can present the significant values, but you can also go with your own objective and then present the statistics which are not really significant. So that's my observation from this paper, and I really like it. And then it also gives you the one avenue to actually do the research, the kind of the research that we should anticipate. So that's why that's my observations. Thank you. Look, now over to you.
Thank you, teacher. Yes, Manav.
So at the final today we discussed on the SIR model by Bikramji. So it was really nice discussion. We had 2 sessions. The first session we discussed about the basic SIR model, and we had again a good back and forth on why different parameters affect the slope, and Bikramji discussed about why in this kind of simulation it's not important that curve has a curvature 0.7 rather than 0.6. Rather, we do multiple rounds of experiments and different scenarios, and we derive the insight from the difference in scenarios. And the second one was, I think, like the one of the highlight paper, because it is so pertinent to current situation, and also the paper itself was really good because it modeled the two different fears. And the thing is that it also its empirical output is also so close to what we have observed in these COVID days in last year. And we had a really nice discussion, and we also talked about how the policy, how why the policies in this part of the world didn't actually work, and why we suffered from the devastation. And I think that this overall the program was really good. And
Yes.
for me the best thing was that the every for people, I really enjoyed the thing that all of us were so interested in economics. We devoted a lot of time, okay, to learn R as well as read papers and learn the code. So I think all of us deserve A plus.
And Manav, last thing which we are forgetting, that it is because of SANDEE that in just one day we have had 2 meetings and we made it possible. Although you know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that Vikram sir told us that he just wanted to make a sense of the R, because he himself
yeah.
knew that it is such a vast package. It is loaded with other packages that we need years to learn actually. But he has provided us the sources. If we go through them, I hope that we can learn more. And that is one thing which we have got from the SANDEE. And another thing is that, again, although this is virtual, we have learned that yes, networking is possible. Although we cannot meet physically, but we can do it virtually. Thank you, SANDEE. Thank you, Maniji, and everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so
Okay,
the
yeah.
last round of applause must go to SANDEE for because they hosted such an amazing program. They recruited such amazing tutors, and also they gathered this amazing cohort to work with and do. So some of the questions are really interesting, and we had such a nice back and forth. The time was limited, but I really enjoyed this session. And again, we all of us would like to thank SANDEE for organizing such a huge, hugely successful event. Thank you, Manisha. Yeah. So
All
now
right,
our
yeah.
presentation ends. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Lubna, Manav, and Dechen for summarizing, all the entire 5 days package in few slides, which is very good. You guys spend a lot of time for putting this together, and I hope this is refreshing to everybody what you have learned, recalling from day one to today. So all good. So now I think what we said yesterday is, now I'll open the floor for people who want to share, but very quickly, okay? There are like 38 people. So if you want, everybody takes 1 minute, that is 38 minutes, right? So be mindful of time. And if you want to say something very quickly, let's take maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds, not even 1 minute. Okay? Okay, please unmute yourself and then go ahead. Thanks.
Thank you, Sandy, and thank you all the speakers for providing a very informative workshop. I am sure everyone has learned this. This is very useful in this. We were previously using stata reviews and other things, but now I am sure we will be in a position to do the analysis in the R that is very rigorous. So thank you, Sandy, for organizing such a nice workshop, and thank you all participants and the speakers for their nice contribution.
Yeah, basically yesterday, if you recall, what we said is now we would like to hear one thing that you learn and you take away from the 5 days meeting. So if you focus on that one, that would be great to other people also. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So next, whoever wants to.
Okay, Mani sir. Yes, it is my great pleasure to say thank you for SANDEE, especially Mani sir, for providing this opportunity to participate in this valuable program. We learned a lot. A special thanks to Professor Bikram and other research person for excellent presentation. Professor Bikram is an incredible trainer. I am so grateful to your work. Definitely, I will use this knowledge in my work. And this is also new experience for me connecting with professor, academicians, and the researcher. And this is a very wonderful event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shrilji. So who next?
So for me, it was my first experience participating in a SANDEE workshop, and I really enjoyed every session. The sessions on the theory helped me really understand the application of the right models and data frameworks for every research question, which was quite vast and diverse. And what I liked most on the sessions on R was just the openness to understand the implication or the reason behind the command, its use and its output. And I'm grateful to SANDEE, Vikram sir, Hina ma'am, and to all the faculty. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Next.
Hello, Mani sir, may I?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mani sir. Thank you, Pranabda, Inam sir, and Bikramji. It was really nice. I think I have difficult time. I mean, I don't have a word to say what I don't like in SANDEE. I would like to call this a SANDEE style of teaching research and statistics. And specifically what I like is the explanation of research questions and then theories and why we need to look into the specific variables and then how these models and then research questions and then the data analysis are actually related. So I really love this kind of scenario, and we do not really get this kind of input from any other sessions so far. I have never experienced such kind of an input from any other organizations. So thank you everybody, and thank you entire team. I had the privilege to attend this, and then I had benefited a lot from this one. Thank you.
Thank you, who else?
Good evening, sir. And I'd like to thank SANDEE and also Goa University for organizing this workshop. And this was really very focused and well managed workshop. And I enjoyed all the classes, and I learned a lot about the graphics, that how we can use R to make good graphs. And also I learned about theories related to diseases, and also how we can use the modeling related to the forest research. It's really, I like to thank all the instructors who have actually provided us very good knowledge about the recent issues and also about the art. So I am a little bit, I really just like to thank SANDEE, because SANDEE is very different from other organizations. So they are not only doing research, they are also providing financial and also this kind of support that is very different from other organizations. I like to little bit more from this workshop, that what are the research questions that we need to actually think about in this in the present context of COVID and also the environment economics. So I like to know little bit more from the Inamul sir, if it is possible. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Gabriel. So Uzma, you are unmuted. So would you like to say something?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to learn about our software. Last year, I finished a EC mode funded project. It was about climate change adaptation in Krakow. At that time, when I was struggling with the data analysis, many times I learned that these things could be done in a better way with R, but I didn't know anything about R. So I'm very thankful to you, to SANDEE platform, for equipping me with the prerequisite knowledge of this R software. I'm thankful to you, Dr. Vikram and Hina, for making us learn and understand about R. And I take this opportunity to thank you, all of you, from my professional development point of view. And thank you to Dr. Inam. I learned environmental economics from Dr. Inam back in 2007 in summer school, and I learned about application of data in environmental economics from Dr. Parnav in 2009, probably, I think so. I'm thankful to both of you. I'm also thankful to Dr. Mani and Nisha for your overall support many, many times. And thank you, all of you. I'm looking forward to learn and work with Sandy. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Uzma. Who else?
Shall I?
Please.
Okay.
Sheena,
Good evening. Good evening, all. Actually, our package was very new to me, but I made it familiar. Or Sandy, this training could make the our package familiar to me. And this week workshop was very fruitful. And methodologically, I got an insight how to use the difference in difference method while doing the impact evaluation study, that so that I can make my own modifications in DID, and I got some insights how to solve my research problem. I had a problem how to make the impact assessment. Okay, and actually it is always a pleasure to listen to Professor Vikram, Professor Inamul Haq, Professor Pranav, Mani sir, Professor Mani sir, and Hina. Hina also, Hina is very, very vibrant and very young and very pleasant teacher. And Mani sir, Pranav sir, and Inam Haq sir, both of you were very. I was, I had any previous class, but Vikram sir also very excellent class I got from Vikram sir. And the methodologically, the R program, this workshop, he made it very designed that program workshop very meticulously, so that it was very good for us. And we got we were with us. Actually, I'm new, but I could do all this packages. Thank you, and thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Sheena. Prasada, you raise hand.
Thank you. Okay, so I don't want to repeat a lot, but without exception, I extend my gratitude to all members and the faculty at SANDEE, and in particular about this experience we had. I would like to appreciate Vikramji's efforts to simplify a lot of very difficult stuff in a quite accessible manner, and then also to his efforts to give the context. And I also enjoyed the second hour where you all were discussing the papers from different individuals as related to the efforts. So thank you all, and I all the participants also. I really loved listening to you, so it was good. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Prasada. Iftikhar, you raise hand. Iftikhar, are you there?
Oh, Mani, I think it is mistakenly raised.
Okay, Aishwarya, your hand is there.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So it was a great opportunity for me to explore different aspects of natural resource economics, because since I am a PhD student, so during our PhDs we generally get so engrossed with our own work and area that we end up overlooking the trajectory of contemporary work. So it was quite a learning opportunity for me, especially the second session in which papers were discussed by experts. I would also like to give a special mention to the way in which the sessions were planned. So it was a very well balanced plan. It was not too much of software part or too much of the theoretical part, so I really liked that part. And lastly, about the R, the preliminary experience with the R, so yeah, it will act as a push to explore this software more in the future. So thank you, Sandy, EC Mode, all the faculty members and the co-participants. Thank you.
Thanks, Aishwarya. Dayani.
Yes, hello everyone. Actually, it was a very fascinating workshop, and I learned a lot of the packages and the function and the loops and how we can just develop things. The scripts and with the theory and the research questions behind. So actually, I have been using um, quite a lot in my PhD, but after that I just use Stata. But this workshop helps me a lot to recall the things and then use the functions and loops in a way that we can apply with the research questions. So thank you very much for all the faculty, including Professor Vikram, Dr. Mani, Dr. Pranab, Dr. Inam, and all the others in the faculty. So thank you so much for organizing such a unique workshop. And I must say that it is actually unique because I have been participated in such workshops even during my PhD, but this is such a unique workshop because they have combined the applications of it with the principles. So thank you so much for organizing such an event for all the participants in South Asia.
Thank you, Dayani. Monica, you are next.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Today I'm so thankful towards SANDEE for organizing this workshop despite the pandemic and all the issues we are facing right now. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Today, I could say that I'm not yet fully confident to use the R software and understand all the packages and all, but Bikram sir has left us with some tips for self-guidance and all through seeking help through Google, and also I am sure that I can use the software in my own understanding and by seeking help through other websites and all. So I'm so thankful for SANDEE for giving me this opportunity to expose our software, which I will be much needed in my research as I'm researching on rural energy right now. And also I'm more happy about this workshop that when I was giving my research proposal from some of the experts, right after hearing my proposal, they were suggesting me, advising me to expose more on SANDEE website and all, because it's the right resources for me. So, and when I get this opportunity, and my supervisor was really happy that I get this opportunity for guiding for these resources, as it will be a lot helpful for my research. And thank you so much for all the faculties and who were all the person who make this workshop successfully. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Monica. Shashika, you're next.
Hi everyone, as I said you before in inaugural session, I'm really new to this particular package, so I just download R for this particular workshop actually. So at least I know now how to import data into R, how to create a project, how to use the script, how to create a vector, and how to do a basic analysis in R, and how to do this wrangling and plotting and matching. It was not easy, and I had many challenges, so I went through them again and again. I did many homework. So I would like to thank Professor Vikram for your wonderful demonstration, as well as the support given by Hina. And also I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Mani, Dr. Namal, and Dr. Pranab for their wonderful economic discussion as always. And also at last, I would like to extend my gratitude to SANDEE for the given opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashika. Firoj, you're next.
Thank you. Before discussing on this training, for the first day I said that I was. Are you hearing? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, thank you. So I was quite afraid of using R before that, and that's why I didn't try to use it before this training. And when I got accepted acceptance for this training. I installed this and other steps, and SANDEE has given me the chance to get this hands-on training. And now I have got more confidence, and now I know that how to operate it without any fear. I thought that this will help me to produce nice figures. I thought initially my expectation was that I'm learning how to produce some nice figures, but I understand that this is more useful beyond my expectations. And I know that to master this program, what I have learned with some source, with some papers, a lot of the stuff that is provided by Professor Vikram, that is useful for me to learn a lot of things later. So I especially thanks Professor Vikram for his way of teaching and to make us acquainted with different tools of our focusing on some specific nice papers that is published in some good journals, and how he linked with the data set they used and how to operate, how to analyze those data sets. So this helps us a lot. And which is really interesting to me. I also thank Hena-ji for her nice cooperation to learn this program. I'd like to thank Dr. Inam sir, Pranab sir, and Mani sir for their presentation and their discussion on different papers with some techniques, methodology that they used. So that helps us a lot. I thank SANDEE, ISIMO, Goa University, and East West University for arranging this virtual program during this pandemic. I thanks to all.
It was Menuka. You are next.
Thank you. Thank you so much, SANDEE, for the opportunity, and also all the resource persons, participants, and the invited participants. It was very helpful. The way it was structured was extremely helpful. But among many others, what was really important and useful for me was how you drew upon models, recent models and examples, how we could use our data, not only to analyze them, but also to present the data. So we can use what we've learned for our research and teaching and other activities. The insightful discussions were also very useful. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. I think that I can see the last hand. Unless anybody wants to say anything, we can move on to so I'd like to mention that so this is jointly organized by Goa University, East West University, and SANDEE. So this is a joint effort, not just by SANDEE. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we understand the arrangement that we made. So I'd like to request Inamda, if you want to say something.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you very much. I think it was a wonderful experience. We thought about learning all of us, and we have been pushing for it. SANDEE started Stata also strongly at the beginning. Now we were thinking of moving to R, and it was Bikram who gave us the hand. And thank you, Bikram, for giving us the help. And we all thought this was a wonderful experience. I think particularly today's lecture was really relevant, and it helps us to rethink about all these diagrams that we thought when I really liked it. Vikram, thank you very much. I also want to announce that some of the videos are already uploaded, so you can actually look into it, and all the videos will be there. But these are all uncut videos, no editing done. Thank you.
Thanks, Inamda. Pranav, are you there? Would you like to say something, Pranav? Hello? Maybe disconnected. Bikram, your turn. So let's wait for Pranav. Would you like to say something at the end?
Sure. I'd like to thank all the participants. It was a very nice experience interacting with you. And I was a bit worried that it may not be that useful. So I'm relieved to hear your comments. Because online also, you often just feel sometimes that you're just talking. And so that was a relief. This is the first time I've had an extended interaction with Maniji. So that was a great pleasure. I feel like I've got to know him. Inamda, I've known for a long time. He's been very sweet to me always. And this time, of course, I had the benefit of his discussions. So I think of him as a very wise person who's done a lot of work in environmental economics. Pranab I know for a long time, and he's always, again, very and very encouraging. And Hina was brought this enthusiasm, and I wish her good luck with her PhD and her academic career, and in fact, all of you. So thank you all. It was a great experience.
Okay, thank you, Vikram. Pranav, are you there? Maybe he's out. I think we are at the end of the program today, so I would like to start thanking Nisha, who is, I don't know whether Nisha is here or not. Nisha, are you there? Who put a lot of effort for actually, making this workshop possible for us, working behind the scene, from advertising to collecting all the applications, putting into review, all kind of things. So let's give a big hand to Nisha, even if she's not here. Okay. So next, I would like to thank both Pranav and Inam. Pranav and Inamda for actually having this idea. This idea came, we are actually working in a book, edited volume that will come next, in I don't know how many months it will take, but it will come out in the second half of 2021. And we started thinking about if you can do this joint workshop, and it is materialized. So thank you very much for bringing those issues. And I think it became very successful workshop, I think, and I learned a lot actually. And I also heard from other participants that I'm very happy to listen that it has been useful and it will be useful for you, and you'll use it in your teaching research in future. So very good. And Bikram, you did very wonderful job. It's very nice to see how nicely you steer throughout these 5 days. So basically, this is not the usual type SANDEE workshop. SANDEE workshop we generally organize in isolated places where everybody comes there, in residential area, we just stay there for 5 days, and few hours you learn from the instructors and all the colleagues. You come together and you learn in the evening, morning. So that actually enhances your learning ability. But here we did not get that chance to interact outside the classroom, all right, outside the screen time. So that is the one thing, but I hope that this is another way of doing things, and this is what we can do at the current moment. So, but I hope that in future we can actually organize in-person workshops like this. So Nisha already sent you a link of the the evaluating the workshop. So please have a look. It won't take more than 10 minutes of your time or less. Okay. So there are many just the ranking questions, and there are one or two just your opinion. So in one question we have asked you to, if you would like to see workshop in future by SANDEE, what you do think would be the useful workshop for you? If you give us a list, that will give us some sort of indication where we should be, what kind of workshop we should organize in future. Sometimes we organize workshops based on the demand also. Okay, so that will help us to that will be input for our decision making in future. And also about the if you want to give us a comment about the workshop, there is a detail space for writing. So please spend a few minutes to give your open feedback. And these are anonymous. There is no names. So we don't want your names. So please feel free to actually give your very open and frank assessment of the workshop, which will be helpful for us to look at what went wrong or what went well and all kind of things. Okay, so that helps us in future. The other thing is, everybody whoever participated you will be getting a certificate of participation. But Nisha informed me that those will be ready by Monday one, and these are electronic. So Nisha will be mailing you individually, I think by Monday. So we hope that you will be able to send back your those forms, field forms, evaluation form by that time. Okay. So I don't have much to say other than that. Bikram earlier mentioned about Professor Carl Mirror. So yesterday was his, 1 year of his departure from this earth. So he passed away last year, 20th May. So I would like to, just remember how much investment actually Carl Miller put to bring SANDEE to this stage. So, and Bikram actually mentioned several times, the benefit that he got from interaction with Carl, but he's not here with us. But we are actually missing him a lot, and then we actually cherish what contribution he made to the environmental economics in the whole region in South Asia. Right? He has been, actually a global leader, but most of that for us is like, whatever he did with along with Professor Dasgupta, Partha Dasgupta. They are the co-founders of SANDEE, started in '99. So Partha is still with us. He comes to our summer school, for teaching all kind of things. So in July, so we are organizing a keynote during our R&T, research and training workshop. So Professor Dasgupta would be coming to give us keynote lectures on the recently released Dasgupta review on economics of biodiversity. So that will be open call, open invitation. So we'll put it online. So please look out. That will be on July 6th evening, starts at 6 p.m. So I hope that a lot of you will be able to join. So one more information is, as you know, SANDEE puts this call for applications for research grants every 6 months. So we have current application at this call for application, active application, call for application there. So if you're interested to put your application, so deadline is May 31st. You or whoever, your friends, colleagues, please pass that application. I can put in the link, the chat box here, the link, if you haven't seen it, or anybody, if you have it, you can actually do it. So let me just do it.
From Maniji, you can put it in the classroom. That will be staying there. The link.
Okay, Nanda, yeah. So I'll put the link there in the classroom. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you. I think we are right at time, before 9:30. So is there anything that anybody wants to say anything? Otherwise, we can close. So I haven't seen Pranav. Maybe he got disconnected and out.
Yeah, he's not here.
Yeah, I wanted to hear from him. But so basically, I would like to thank all the participants, who spent time, effort and energy for all 5 days. It is not easy to stare in the screen, 3.5 hours continuously for 5 weeks. So 5 days. So you made it, and I'm very, very happy and proud of all of you. So without your, constant, your time and effort, this workshop wouldn't be successful. So I'm very happy for your interest and time that you spent for these 5 days. Okay, so with that, I would like to close the meeting here, if unless there is anything anybody wants to say.
Thank you, Maniji, and thank you, Nisha. I think these were important support for all of us, and particularly Mani and Nisha. And I think more than that, because the poster and everything was done by a lot of people within ISIMO. So thank you all.
I think one more thing. I'm sorry. I need to, listen from Hina, her experience. So Hina, are you there? I almost forgot.
Yeah, I was thinking of Hina, but I think there's something going on in Goa. They're both not here.
Oh, okay. So Hina actually, spent a lot of time for, providing support for understanding all these R codes. So even if she's not here, so would like to, acknowledge her contribution to SANDEE. This is her first interaction with SANDEE, but she did very, very wonderful job. Okay. Yeah, thank you all. So see you sometime, someday, online, offline, in person,
So
by
everyone
email.
stay safe.
Please. Yes, Vikram?
I said everyone stay safe.
Okay, yeah. So, these are very difficult times, and also, these are not easy times actually. So you made your time out of this difficult pandemic. So we were earlier, whether to continue this workshop or close, postpone it for later, but it went very well. Everybody. Some of you, I think, one or two of you are also infected with COVID, but you participated throughout the workshop. So I'm very happy with that. So thank you very much.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I just want to Inamul Haq, sir. Can I get your contact number? Because earlier I tried to contact you, but when I heard that there was some health issue with you, I couldn't personally contact you. If you can.
I can give my WhatsApp number.
Okay, sir.
And I can also see lot of good comments and then appreciation in the chat box. So thank you all for putting your your comments and encouragement to us. Yeah, thanks. So
Thank you, sir.
stay safe and good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you.